You are listening to the Centropic Oracle, an audiobook podcast of science fiction and fantasy short stories that make you think and feel.
Who Wants to Be a Reaper? By Jane Brown. Woodrow steeled himself and entered the small gray room. A girl with pigtails sat drawing squiggles on the floor. Did it have to be a child first? Woodrow removed a tattered photo from his leopard print pants pocket. He kissed the pictured boy's face, then carefully returned the photo. The girl looked up. Hello. You have pretty pants. I like your purple spiky hair, too. Do you like my drawings? She was young. Too young for this. He wanted to run to her and say yes, he liked her drawings very much. But that was not the traditional reaping way. While most candidates had spent months studying for their auditions, he only needed days. His handy photographic memory of all 313 handbooks ensured he remembered not only the correct words to say, but also obscure tips like how to summon props, clap hands, or send a soul back to Earth when a mistake had been made, sharp tap on the floor with a scythe. He reluctantly evoked the rules for reaping children script. Rule 1. Show no emotion. He stood silent. What is this place? I miss Mommy and Daddy. I tried to leave, but there's no door. Rule 2. Tell the facts. This is a waiting room. Where a person dies, their soul waits in a room until a reaper arrives to take them to the afterlife. Technically, they're not fully dead until they actually get reaped. Her shoulders shook. I'm scared. I want Mommy. He held out his hand. It's time to go. No, I'm not going. Sobbing, she threw herself on the floor and banged it with her fists. Rule 3. Wait out the tantrum. Woodrow waited. Eventually she grew tired and took his hand. Nice, the judge said as she recorded the results. A textbook perfect reaping. Kids are tricky. Many auditionees get impatient and grab them, forgetting it has to be the soul's choice. She removed her glasses and eyeballed his leopard print pants and pink shirt. You don't fit our usual reaper mold. Whatever made you choose to audition? Chance to carry a big scythe, Woodrow said, turning it sideways and pretending to strum it like a guitar. In all seriousness, I was a nobody on Earth, failed musician. I want to become someone important up here. Well, you just may get your wish. You only need 2 more successful reapings. An old lady sat by a table, tears streaming down her cheeks. She saw Woodrow approach and howled, I know who you are, even with those ridiculous pants. My first grandchild will be born soon. I'm not ready to leave yet. Reaping the elderly. Rule 1. Play their life highlights. The lady watched her life flash before her. Her tears stopped flowing. She sighed. I guess I've been luckier than some. Rule 2. Use sentimental logic. Some say that a baby cannot arrive on Earth until there is death. Circle of life and all that. She considered this. Finally, she stood and walked to him, shoulders drooping. Woodrow wavered. Wait. I don't want to take you like this. I want you to start your next adventure with joy, not sadness. Think about what you've gained, not what you've lost. He clapped his hands, the music played. The lady hooted. I love to dance, but my hip. Woodrow smiled. Try now. She beamed as she twirled around like a teenager. Woodrow joined her. After a few minutes, she tapped him on the shoulder. I'm ready for my adventure now. Unorthodox, but still successful. The judge tilted her head to the side. Afterlife counselors reported that was the most seamless transition they've had in weeks. Tell me again why you think you were a nobody on Earth. I don't think. I know. I was a songwriter and a keyboard player who couldn't make money. I tried for years after my son, Ricky, was born. I always thought my big break was around the corner. And then I ended up here. I promised myself I'd take on an important job so when Ricky finally arrived, he'd be so impressed that he'd forget what a no-hoper I was alive. The judge stared at him for a few seconds before looking down at her notes. Woodrow, I must tell you that many others have attempted your next and final reaping without success. I also must remind you of Clause 2B. Any unsuccessful attempt in your audition forfeits your chance at ever becoming a reaper. A young man sat meditating in the middle of the room. He didn't stir as Woodrow approached. Woodrow recalled Rules for Reaping Meditators, an obscure section with only one rule. Rule 1. Break the trance. He groaned. How? He clicked his fingers, and a loud boom of thunder sounded. Nothing. Damn! He whistled, and the room filled with objects dear to the man's soul. A photo of the man, a woman, and a baby boy appeared. No wonder he's refusing to go. A keyboard also emerged. Woodrow grinned and played a mix of genres. Rock, classical, show tunes, anything. No use. Nothing broke the meditation. He pulled out the tattered photo from his pocket and sighed. I'm sorry, son. I'm still a nobody in the afterlife. He was about to concede when he remembered a song he'd penned celebrating his son's birth. With closed eyes, he sang the lyrics while his fingers danced over the keys. Halfway through, he realized the man was standing behind him. My dad wrote that song. He was amazingly talented. I was so young when his plane crashed. It was heartbreaking. I loved him so much. I don't know how you knew to play that song, but I'm ready to go with you now. Woodrow froze, every muscle itching to remove his Reaper facade. He looked again at the family photo. He thought of his grandson growing up without his father. He struck the floor with his scythe. In a hospital on Earth, after 6 months in a coma, a 28-year-old husband and father called Ricky awoke.
We hope you enjoyed Who Wants to Be a Reaper by Jane Brown, read by Kenneth Tynan. If you'd like to learn more about the author and narrator of this story or make a donation to them, follow the story page link in the description. If you would like to submit a story for consideration or apply to be a narrator, a link to our submission guidelines is in the description.